Ask about Bo Nix. He's been a bit of a flashpoint. Listen, some of the numbers show that Bo Nix was not great last year. Didn't throw over the middle of the field for whatever reason. Maybe did lack the personnel. I don't know. If you had to ask what's the biggest question about a Broncos team that was 14-3 last year, returns almost everyone on defense. I think they lost someone on the line, but
John Franklin Myers.
John Franklin Myers, JFM. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Vegas has their win total at 9.5. Like, why? They added Waddle. Almost everyone's back on defense. What's different? And I think the question mark is possibly Bo Nix.
Yeah. I understand. Probably through 3/4 of the season, they led the league in 3 and outs. And there were a lot of things where Bo was below standard early in games and then was just lights out. When things get simplified in the fourth quarter and you got to have a comeback, they had all those comeback wins last year. And I think that's part of the process of, growing as a quarterback. And Bo needs to be better at throwing the downfield passes. That needs to be a more efficient part of his game. But I think the Jalen Waddle addition is huge for the Broncos. They really didn't have an explosive playmaker, a guy that could just catch a 12-yard in-cutting route and take it 70 yards to the house. Waddle brings them that. And, I was out there, I told you, for minicamp on the football field. This was the week before Father's Day. So Father's Day was like June 21st or 22nd. And I talked to Sean about Bo's ankle, and he said, hey, listen, if we played the opening game on Father's Day, which, like I said, was late in June, Bo would line up and be our starting quarterback. He is ready to play. So I think the injury thing is the ankle thing is a thing of the past. They're not really concerned about that here in Denver. And I think they have a lot of high expectations for Bo Nix and this offense, especially with the addition of Jalen Waddle.
All right,
I'm going to dismantle this framing in about 3 seconds. What he's essentially saying is that the Broncos won all these games, their win total has plummeted, and the only explanation is Bo Nix. Of course, it's Bo Nix. And yet, Drake May was considered a top MVP candidate, many people had him winning the award, and his team is supposed to be better this year. They just got A.J. Brown, who I've been told every single day for the last 2 years is the greatest wide receiver in the history of the universe. The offensive line is supposed to be better, the run game better, the defense is great. You've got Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. Depending on which site you use, their win total is 9.5 or 10.5. The only logical explanation is Drake May, right? That's the logic we're applying with Bo Nix. It's got to be Drake May. We see this with win-loss totals all the time, whether it's Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson. That's how this works. So to act like this is some massive indictment on Bo Nix is absurd. It's absurd. Look at the Rams, their estimated average win total is 11.1. They have the best Super Bowl odds at 12%, win conference championship at 19%. Seattle is second at 11, Buffalo 10.8, Baltimore 10.8, Detroit 10.6, Philly 10, Green Bay 9.9, Chargers 9. But here's the thing, this is the Denver Broncos right here. Top 10. Essentially a little over a game behind Seattle or LA. And LA is universally considered the most stacked team ever, elite offensive line, elite run game, elite coaching, elite receivers, elite defense, elite quarterback. Yet we're trying to paint a picture of the Broncos as miles below, and it's all because of Bo Nix. The Rams over-under is 11.5 with an absolute bona fide stacked team, a super team that everyone says has no chance of losing if healthy. The difference is 2 games. 2 games sound small, but when you factor in the belief in the Rams and how little we supposedly think of the Broncos or how much Bo Nix is holding them back, you'd think it would be 7.5 or 8.5, with the Rams at 12.5. That's not the case. With a stacked team and the reigning MVP, 11.5, they don't have a 14.5 win total. The Patriots don't. The Seahawks when they won the Super Bowl didn't. The Eagles don't. The Chiefs don't. The Bills don't. The Ravens don't. Why should the Broncos? Do you see the framing? When you put everything in context, you see how much it matters and what the differences actually are. That's why context is so important. If you just look at the surface, you'd say, wow, 14 games down to 9.5. They don't really believe in this team. I guess it's Bo Nix. Come on. Are we serious right now? Caleb Williams is at 9.1. He's on the cover of Madden, he's the next guy. The Bears are at 9.5 wins with the legend, the Iceman. The framing doesn't make any sense. None. 0. The average win total. L is a little under 1 game from the absolute bona fide stacked, far and away Super Bowl favorite Rams. What does that tell you? They think the Broncos are pretty good. They think Bo Nix is pretty good. Not otherworldly, not the most next level, but pretty darn good. And if Matthew Stafford is considered next level and the Rams are considered next level and they're only sitting at 11, that tells you all you need to know about the NFL, about the distribution of talent, the distribution of competition, and how hard it is to consistently win 12, 13, 14 plus games year after year. It doesn't happen that regularly at all. It's a pretty safe prediction. Think about how stacked the Rams are. They theoretically have a 14% chance to win the Super Bowl. Odds are always weird because it depends on how percentages are evaluated and the actual context. Regardless, the way some conversations unfold, it feels like the Rams have a 70% or 60% chance. It's really hard. That's why I always say that people who just say, this team's not winning a Super Bowl, have one of the easiest takes because you're going to be right more often than you're wrong. If every year I say the Bills won't win, the Chiefs won't win, the Broncos won't win, think about the Eagles, who along with the Chiefs have been the 2 most successful teams over the last decade. They have 2 or more Super Bowl wins. If every year I said the Eagles aren't going to win, I'd be right a lot, but I'd be missing the reality of the actual situation. I'd be missing a lot. And we're doing that exact version with the Denver Broncos, specifically with Bo Nix now being the face of that conversation. It's kind of ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bo Nix and the fact that he just can't stop holding back this Denver Broncos team? This is actually true, the Broncos would have been undefeated if they had any other quarterback but Bo Nix. Do you remember when they tried to convince us that Jarrett Stidham is better than Bo Nix? I remember that. Do you remember when they said Zach Wilson is actually better? I remember that. Those were fun days. Some Broncos fans were saying, I want to see Jarrett Stidham with this team. I think he'll be better. You got your wish. You were wrong. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree, let's get into some discussions, let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.